Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to do a eyebrow tutorial for you guys, showing some new techniques, some new tricks that I do on my brows to get the look that I get. So stay tuned. Okay, so to start you want to make sure your eyebrows are brushed out. Mine are pretty cleaned up because I did go and clean them up a little bit yesterday. The shape of your brows once you do your makeup is definitely determined off of how your brows are already shaped as is. So if you know how to clean them up, you can, or if you go get them waxed or threaded or whatever the case may be, that's fine as well. The cleaner they are, the cleaner they will be once you do your makeup. So I try to keep up with them. I tweeze them, use a little razor and clean them up. I honestly haven't gone and gotten my brows waxed in probably like 2 years. So, yeah. So I'm going to use brush number 13 by BH. And I'm just going to brush. I like to just brush them out. I mean, some people, you just want your hair to be like facing one way and not all knotted or whatever. Some people have longer hair. I don't know if it gets knotted, but so one trick that you can do once you go to do your brows, you can use this to kind of like brush your hair down, because that'll show you like where you can place your top line. I don't really do that too often, but it actually is very helpful. So I'm going to use my dip brow today, which I honestly have been using for a long time. I do like the pencil too, like the eyeliner pencil, because it's very neat. So I like my brows to be like perfectly shaped, like as perfect as I can get them. So like when you use the pencil, it's easier to like do it that way. I have an idea. So I'm going to do something that I just thought of. It's still going to be an eyebrow tutorial, but I'm going to do one eye with pencil and one eye with my dip brow. That way you can see the difference. So this eyeliner pencil I have, honestly, is just a regular pencil that is dark brown that I got from the beauty supply store. Your local beauty supply store. I love them. So yeah. The first thing that I'm going to do is outline my brows, and then I'm going to fill them in. After I fill them in, I'm going to clean them up. So with the pencil, okay, so pretty simple. I mean, it looks easy. I've been doing it for a while, but for people who are just learning, you just try to use what you already have to help you enhance. So my brows were pretty much shaped already. I outline them. I outline them first and then I fill them in. So normally daily I would use my dip brow and not my liner, because honestly, thinking about it, I just haven't bought a new liner. I've just been so used to using the dip brow, so I've always used it. But I think I'm going to go back to using both of them because it works out very well. So I have my Anastasia Beverly Hills, my dip brow in the color Ebony. That color works very well for me. There's like, I think there's one more shade after this, which is granite, and that one's like towards like blackish, and I think dark brown works well for me because it looks more natural too. So I'm going to do this side with my dip brow. The brush that I'm using is number 7 from BH. It is a angled brush. So I'm going to get some of my dip brow in there, try to get a good amount. Sometimes the dip brow can get dry. So a trick would be like a drop of oil. So if you have, I had, I can't think of the name of the oil. Jasmine oil, I believe I had, and I put some in here, and I've like only had to do it like once, and it's been pretty good. You keep the top on it too. So I would say when you're just starting out doing your brows, you know, like for beginners, because this video is beginner friendly, I'm trying to keep it pretty simple. I would say to kind of do your brows in parts, if that makes sense. I'll show you. So when I first started off, this was easiest to me. Lining the bottom, so I line the bottom. However, I didn't do the ending or the tail, you can call it, of my brow yet. Okay, and then I'm gonna do this part right here. So after I do that part, which I stop it right here, once my brow kind of starts to have its own natural curve, so I bring the liner about right there. And then we're going to go in and do the top and connect it. And that's what I mean when I say doing it in parts, instead of trying to just get your hand kind of like do it all together. So for the most part, my brows are always different in shape. Like one is always arched more than the other one. It drives me crazy, especially when I record. But there's like no way your eyebrows are gonna be 100% the same. Like I can't foresee that, and to be like someone who would have to tweeze someone's, well, not tweeze, but like do the waxing or the threading of someone's brows and to try to get them like that, oh my gosh, I couldn't imagine. Like I would go crazy. So I'm gonna fill them in now. So we just go in and just, you know, you want your brows to be like, to look the same, like a solid eyebrow. So obviously my eyebrows are not 100% this shaded, so that's what we're filling in. If you notice the difference, this is nice and dark. This one is like, okay, you can see some space right there. What's going on with that? Well, that's what we're gonna fix. So being that I already lined it, I don't even bother to like touch the surface of the lines. I just literally fill it in the middle. And then the front part I always spike up. Slightly. And then I like lightly bring them together. So I'm going to fill in this brow, which is definitely a little bit thicker than the other one. And everyone will have their own opinion on how they want their brows. Well, their own preference on how they want their brows. I honestly like brows that are like not too thick, not too thin. Like this brow's perfect to me. This one is a little bit thicker. But again, with the way that my hair is already laying on my forehead and me trying to kind of reshape it to make them slightly similar so that they don't look too much of a difference is, you know, kind of hard a little bit, especially when your hair is already trained a certain way. Like I would have to literally like shave my eyebrows down like almost completely to try to shape them like to look closer. So yeah. I have my scarf on today because I need to do my hair, which I know every female can feel my struggle right now. Like I was supposed to do my hair last night, I didn't do it. Tomorrow's Monday, gotta go to work. So yeah, if you see, like you see that my brows are slightly different, it's cool. We're gonna clean them up. So when you conceal them, it really gives you the chance to like shape them and clean them up the way that you want to. But for the most part, they're okay. I'm really hard on myself when it comes to my makeup. So I wanted to keep it in the family. So I'm going to use my Anastasia concealer. Looks similar. 6.5 is the shade. The brush I'm going to use is my BH number 7. If you are looking, if you need a concealer brush, you want a brush that looks like this. Literally like the one that I'm going to use. I mean, I don't really know how to describe it. It's rounded at the tip. Some people use straight ones. I mean, I guess that makes sense, you know, because you want a straight line. Maybe I should try it. I've always used these type of brushes. They've always worked well for me, so I wasn't ready to make a change. So when I get my concealer on my brush, one thing I do is literally get like a little bit on both sides. So I turn it and I get some on that side so that I don't have to dip my brush multiple times, like start and then stop and then start and stop because I'm getting concealer, because I feel like that would kind of mess up the process. So yeah, both sides, we got a little concealer right on the top, and we're gonna go in and clean them up. So I'm literally, I mean, I basically, when I line my brows, they're pretty much, the lines are pretty much already clean to me. I just want them to look similar and make them pop a little bit. One trick, if you want your eyebrows to be very, like if you're doing full glam and you want to look like, you know, like you want to look bomb, you want to look real, like make your eyebrows really pop out, stand out, you would use a lot of concealer. If you want more natural, like say for example, you were doing like very natural makeup, or you were just doing your eyebrows, because some people do that, and you obviously use concealer to clean them up, you would use a little bit of concealer, like to the point where like when you wipe it, it looks like it's already dry, because that will give you that more natural look. It'll also help you when you go to blend it out, because it's very faint. However, when you use a lot of concealer, it's very noticeable until you blend it out. So I'm going to start cleaning. Okay. So when I do my brows, I like to pull them right. I like to connect them, the lines, so that they meet, because it gives me kind of like a guide too of where I want the line to go, so one brow is not too high or too low. If the lines connect or are very close to each other, that means that they're, you know, slightly around the same. Now, one thing that I could say like a trick would be, I started from the beginning right here and went all the way. I just started doing that. I actually used to just do right here and then go down and then come back and connect the line going backwards. And the reason why I did that is because right here is where, right here on the bottom and the top determines how your arch is going to look, and mainly the shape of your brows, because that's where you're starting to do curving. So that helped me to kind of envision where the arch needs to be. And then over time, I kind of know now. So I still have some concealer on my brush, which is why I do what I do. So yeah. Now this is one of the things that I used to do also when I first started. I would come here and clean up like this. Okay, so we connect those together. Now this is me doing it in parts to try to just show you guys like a trick on how to make it easier when you're doing your brows. So I bought this line up a little bit farther than my actual brow was on purpose. I'm going to show you why. So now we're going to do the top part. And you connect them. And then now the rest is just me cleaning it up and trying to make sure the lines aren't apparent too much. So I go like this and just drop it down quickly, and that connects the lines together. So that brow is basically done. With my concealer, after I do my brows, I would be doing my eyeshadow. So we're going to bring our concealer down because that's also going to help it blend out. This concealer has, I'm trying to think of what type of consistency it has. This concealer, I don't want to say it's oily, but in a way, it's creamy. That's the word. I couldn't think of it. That's so funny. Okay. So yeah, we're going to let that dry up. Just, you know, kind of hang out there. So what I was explaining, I can actually show you guys. What I was explaining with that brow is I used to do this. This is a trick when you're learning how to do your brows. Start off right here. And then bring it down. Okay. Okay. So now we're going to finish cleaning them up. The lines pretty much for the most part did connect, like I said. And then I kind of used the top part as a guide as well. Okay. I feel like that one was arched a little more. Probably still is, but that's okay. So yeah, this is why you want to make sure you blend. Because your eyebrows will look like this, and everyone knows that there's no way that looks right. Okay, we still got some more blending to do, but we're gonna do the middle. Now, some people, well, one of the guides that you use as well when you do your brows is the ending of your nostrils. You want your brows to start right there, which means mine would start right there. However, everyone has a different preference. I personally don't. I feel like if I put my brows to line up right here, it's too far. I don't know why. Some people say my brows are too close. That's fine. However you feel is great. So, but it has nothing to do with me. So, yeah, I just pull this down just right about, where my nose is. And I do straighten up these lines a little bit. Now, honestly, okay, that's good. Some people like their brows like this. They don't blend them out. I mean, looking at it, it's not that bad. So yeah, some people like their brows like this. I honestly one day might try it, because I really don't mind that part. But I do blend out this because it looks way too dark, way too boxed off. I mean, it can be natural. Some people have a lot of eyebrow hair. I do not. So I like to try to make it look at least similar to how my brows look. So we're going to blend this out. Oh, I have this brush. It's this small brush. I can't remember who makes it. It's like Eco something, but you can find them at Walmart. And honestly, all I'm doing is just like slightly dabbing these out. Now, one thing that I like to do, well, that I find effective is with blending, doing the outer part first. So this part is the lightest because when I put down the concealer, I put it down here and I dragged it out. I slightly blended it out with the other brush. So this part doesn't have a lot of product, which makes it easier for me to blend, because it's a lot lighter. So we're going to dive in to that part, and then we get closer and closer to the actual brow where there is a little more concealer, a heavier amount, and we just blend out that way. That makes more sense. That makes sense to me. It works for me. So, yeah. Sometimes I do blend out with a bigger brush. Today I'm just doing my brows for you guys, so it's not a big deal. But I look so unfinished. Like, I don't know how people can go out the house like this. Like, I feel like it's like, oh my gosh, you can tell my brows are done. But it's like, what about the rest of your face? I don't think that I've ever... Maybe when I first started doing makeup, I used to go out the house like this. But might not have even been then. I don't know. My face is breaking out so much, I'm like... Well, slightly breaking out a little bit. Like, I don't know what to do. I want to get my hands on a aloe plant, though. So yeah. Trip money, okay. So, I mean, honestly, like, this is the type of stuff that I just do. Like, when I'm not in a rush. Like, obviously, if I was in a rush, I'd be blending out a lot quicker than this. But even the small amounts that I've done are so much more of a difference. And the code to the safe. I show them how to network. Okay, so now we're gonna do the middle. So I dab right in the front. I dab both ways, back to front, front to back, so that we can keep the dip brow there, but we can just slightly fade the front a little bit so it doesn't look so harsh. And I kind of fade that line a little bit. I have a pimple there, right there, of course, so it's kind of hard, but I'm sure that you guys can already see the difference between this brow and this brow. Okay. So, to top it off, once I do my brows, once I'm all done, blend them out and everything, like, don't have to touch them again, I use, this is, oh, you can barely see it, but this is L'Oreal Brow Plumper. Yeah, it's brow gel. It's like a dark brown, and honestly, being that it's a gel, it kind of keeps the hair sitting a certain way, so it comes on a little spoolie like this. It's medium to dark, so I go in and honestly just brush like this, the way that I want to. And some people have like hairs that like don't lay down certain ways, so that actually helps you a lot, because it kind of just, you know, it's like a little gel, lays your little hairs down so no hairs are sticking outside of your little outline here, keeps your makeup nice and clean. So guys, I am done. That is my eyebrow tutorial. Being that I recorded, it took me a little longer than it would if I was just doing them, you know, without the camera. So yeah, I mean, they look pretty good to me. They actually look really good to me. I'm kind of upset I don't have any plans. So I'm working on making videos more often. Bear with me. I need to kind of get a hold on my life a little bit more. You know, I moved. If you've watched my last videos, I just recently moved. I've only been in Raleigh, North Carolina for about a month. So I'm still kind of working on getting everything set up, resetting up, you know, like my filming area, my makeup area, and just everything. I got a new job, so I'm adjusting to that. So there's a lot that I'm doing right now. I'm definitely working on filming a lot more. Like, I'm talking about like multiple days a week, because this is what I really want to do. So yeah, today I'm a little bit like not in the mood, but I still want to make a video, and I don't know if it's kind of obvious or not. Probably. I'm a little like, I'm upset about a couple things, but I wrote down my video ideas, my plans, things that I need to work on, my goals. Like, I'm really I don't know how to say it. Like, I'm really working on like bettering myself in all ways. So yeah, you guys are gonna like grow with me. You're gonna watch me change. And so many things like in my life change now that I am filming and things like that. I'm like planning to do vlogs and everything. Like, it's gonna be great. You guys are gonna love it. So yeah, keep watching. I'm excited. I have some ideas now. But yeah, this is my eyebrow tutorial. This is my, I mean, kind of every day, you could say, for the most part. I always do full glam. I never really do natural makeup. And if I do, it's like browns and like nudes, but I still got a little sparkle or something going on. But that's just me. So yeah, I am all done. My brows are done. I hope it helped you. You guys learned some stuff, because that is what I'm here for. I honestly did not realize how much I love like teaching and like, you know, like mentoring and things like that for people, until I made my own channel. And now I'm like, wow, like I really love teaching people stuff, especially when you watch something and then you're like, oh wow, like this could be so much easier. You could have said this to make this easier. You could have done that to make it easier. And people just don't do that. I don't know why, but me, I am always thinking about other possibilities, and my brain is constantly working. So yeah. Yeah, I'm done. My brows are done. I hope you guys learned something, as always. And I hope you're able to go ahead and, you know, start mastering your brows. I'd love to see them. Like, comment, subscribe. You know how that thing goes. And I'm off this.